Hi guys, and welcome back to the Caribbean Spot. In today's video, we are covering the Jamaican plug who got arrested in Florida. According to Volusia's Sheriff's Office, headline reads, Supplier Arrested. Narcotics detectives arrested out-of-county supplier of meth and cocaine Monday in Daytona Beach after he returned to Volusia County with 6 kilograms of cocaine and 15 pounds of meth. Alvin P. Davis was previously identified as a source of supply during a long-term investigation into narcotics trafficking from South Florida. During a search warrant at his home on Pelican Bay, detectives seized more than 18 kilograms of powder cocaine, along with trafficking amounts of crack cocaine, fentanyl, meth, and oxycodone. So the report further states that detectives were able to identify Davis as the supplier and continued the investigation. I've seen other articles that said, again, like this is not the first time he was arrested, but I think what they're speaking about was when they raided his home and they got that 18 kilograms of powder. I'm just going to infer here and guess, suggest, make an assumption that probably, they wanted to know the source of it. So probably he was released or something because it stated that in October, right, detectives seized more than 18 kilograms of powder of cocaine due to a search warrant at his home. So was he released after that? And they just was like spying on him or whatever before, trying to identify, is he the plug or is he just one of those other guys on the street? I don't know how you call these people because I'm not in that world. Okay, so the report just answered my question. So it went on to say that detectives were able to identify Davis as the supplier and continue the investigation, right? So probably when they raided his home, he probably was released on bond or something or bail, whatever that is, right? And they continue their investigation looking for the supplier, not realizing, hey, we had the supplier. He's the plug, right? So it went on to say on Monday, Davis returned to Volusia County, arriving at an address there, and detectives established surveillance. Davis then traveled to the Volusia Mall parking lot, where detectives saw him sorting through packages in the back his vehicle, I guess in the back of his vehicle, that appeared to contain kilograms of cocaine. That's a weird place to go do your drug deals. Like maybe it's a weird place in my understanding, like you would want to hide yourself or something when you're doing stuff illegally, which is, I'm not condoning stuff like that because I think what he's doing is wrong. There's a lot of people out there who are, addicted to cocaine and meth and oxycodone and these things, and their lives are, pretty much destroyed, right? You can just Google Kensington, Philadelphia, and see how people are living like zombies there, right? So I understand the reason why they need to get these drugs off of the streets, but I'm just saying the place that he picked to do that is just weird, right? Well, to me, but to somebody who's in the drug world, probably that's the ideal spot for them. But the mall, like really? So Davis was taken into custody and charged with trafficking in cocaine and meth. He is being held with no bond. He's a Jamaican national. It was determined Davis is in the US on a work visa. I don't understand. Somebody said, how do you get a work visa to come in the US and become a drug dealer? Right? Like what work were you doing in America? This is just it's weird. Okay, let's continue. So he's a Jamaican national. Detective contacted Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, and a detainer was placed on him to revoke his legal status and initiate deportation after he answers for his criminal charges. They said a search warrant was also executed at the residence, his residence, wherever he was, where cash and packaging consistent with drug trafficking was recovered. A large amount of cash. Okay, so for the cash, somebody said in the comment section, well, why they're not saying the specific amount of cash? Why are they just saying a large amount, right? So people were questioning that in the comment section. You were specific with how much drugs was found, but why are you not specific with the amount of money? To me, that is kind of irrelevant, right? Like, it's important, but it's not really that important. What is important is this man was taken off of the streets, right? The drugs were taken off of the streets, so I'm happy. So they went on to say a large amount of cash was also recovered from a vehicle leaving the address, and HSI was contacted regarding the driver. So the comment section was pretty brutal. You know, some people were saying really derogatory things about this man. A lot of people said deport him and stuff like that. Selling drugs is not cool, right? You are pretty much not being your brother's keeper. You are inflicting somebody else with pain for greed. It's all about greed, right? You're not content. So you decide you would hurt somebody. You intentionally decide, this is what I want to do as my career. I want to be a drug dealer. I want to sell people poison to mash up their life, mash up their family, mash up everything. I want them to turn poor and a pauper because I don't know how to be loved. I can't love my neighbors as myself. So I'm going to destroy them and take all their money and build a big house in Jamaica, couple houses, couple businesses, but not in my name. So when they deport me, I set up. And I'm saying this because somebody said that in the comment section that, you know what, it's okay. Because when he's deported, he's going to live well in Jamaica. And I'm not sure of this, so this is just speculations right now. But it is sad. It is sad that we as human beings do not know how to be above all love. It is sad that some of us, we pray and we claim God, right? But on the other hand, we would hurt our brothers, hurt our sisters, right? At the end of the day, everybody have to answer to God. So I pray that this man repents, right? I pray that he repents and whatever he did, he asks God for forgiveness, because every soul he sold this thing to, every soul that used that is connected to him, and he have to answer for that because he made an intentional decision. This is what he's going to do. Hi everyone, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you very much for coming to my channel and for viewing this video. I would really like your support to grow my channel, so hit the like button, share, subscribe, and hit a notification bell. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so another perspective to look at that is people like that are giving Jamaicans a bad name. They're giving other Caribbean people bad names, right? And he's not the first. I'm sure there's been many, right, who's done stuff like that. But when does it stop? You came on a work visa. Now you may make things harder for others seeking to come into the US on a work visa. I just believe that stuff like that would cause them to be more strict when it comes to handing out visas, right? Especially work visas, and to certain islands. That's where restrictions come into play, right? I mean, if you're in the US, you're working honestly, you're making ends meet, you're working hard, you're working 2, 3, 4 jobs, whatever it is, right? Stay on the straight and narrow path. Stop trying to make it difficult for others to follow. You know what I mean? Because you go and get deported, there's a youth back home who probably wanted an opportunity to get a work visa so he can come and do right, that he can come and work and get money and sustain himself and be an honest, upstanding citizen. And then you have the schemers and scammers on the next hand who come under the pretense of work visa, but their main intention is to be the plug. You know what I mean? To run things. Really. What is a man to gain the world and lose your soul? You don't care about your soul. Because if he did, he won't be selling this poison to his brothers and sisters. Okay, so I wanted to know, what is the combined street value of this 15 pounds of meth and 13 pounds of cocaine, right? And the low estimate for the combined values of both is approximately $475,000, and a high estimate is between $950,000 to like a million, and it could be more, right? But this is just what I found online so far. I mean, what is a man to really gain the world and lose his soul? Like, you prefer money over people, over family, over communities, right? And some people out there might say, well, he's not forcing them to buy his drugs. So what happens to their families are on them, and it's not on anybody else but them. They made the choice. Okay. But in this situation, there's two guilty parties. Because if you're not supplying, there would not be a demand. If you cut the supply chain, there would not be a demand. And this is what these police officers are doing in this county, right? They're getting the drugs off of the street. Remove the suppliers, remove the supply chain, there's not a demand for this drug. It is time to save families, it is time to save communities. There's too many children growing up with their parents in jail or their parents on drugs, being robbed of a good childhood, while others, their children are going to private schools, they're driving big cars because why? Their dads or their moms are the drug dealers, right? I'm not saying all rich people. I'm speaking specifically to these drug kingpins, right? Whose children seem to live a nice privileged lives, while those people who are caught on drugs, their kids are sometimes, right, being cheated out of life. This is sad. This is really sad. And as a people, we need to do better. Stop destroying communities. Stop destroying families. That's all I have for this video. Don't forget to be a brother's keeper, be above all love, and let's start building families and communities. Let's start building businesses, right? One love.